Hello everyone, Russell Wright, Network Empire, Theme Zoom, Social Explosion, Domain Authority Stacking, Traffic Hospital, GSA software, Theme Zoom certification, automatic broadcasting RSS, automatic video traffic, SEO website silo architecture, and social neuroeconomics. I am really excited to talk to you today. I wanted to get into some intimate videos. Every once in a while, it's nice to actually just talk face to face rather than through screen capture. So I am sitting in my lab in Phoenix, Arizona, actually Scottsdale, and I was inspired to try an experimental approach. Since we have, as you can see in the screen capture, 30 days, slightly less than 30 days actually, for the Network Empire live certification event, I thought I'd start doing some experimental videos here to just really informal, to tell you what's going on in our world. And part of what's going on is the sheer exhaustion of trying to let you guys know every little thing that's going on in our organization would be pretty impossible because we are a very comprehensive software and educational system. And you can see on this screen here, these are only a few of our money sites. And of course, at the bottom here, I have some of our traffic sites, but only a few. And sometimes getting an unplugged kind of informal conversation with somebody helps you understand really what's going on in their world, but it also might give you some insight in what's going on in your own. And if there's any way that I can help you understand the reality behind building a multi-million-dollar technology company, if you're going to be an SEO, if you're going to live the dream, if you're going to embrace the dream, you need to know the truth about that dream. At the same time, you also have to maybe stretch your mind, kind of look at the limits. I'm not suggesting that you do things the way that I tell you to do them, but we can give you some insights. You can pick your paths and possibly grasp how you might like to utilize either our software, or even if you don't use our software and only use our training, you'll be able to make some choices that are appropriate for your life and your path. I can unplug my lab. We live in an amazing time. I can unplug my lab and take this Alienware machine with me wherever I go. And this machine here is a laptop. It's a pretty powerful one. It was designed and picked out for me by Jimmy Kelley, friend, partner, and this was an upgrade from the last one that I have. And what's interesting about this is my entire world, my empire, is on this machine. And of course I have it backed up on the cloud and so on and so forth. So when I plug into my lab, I'm able to look and see what's going on at any time. I choose this method. You don't have to choose this method. Of course, I have other monitors. I'm looking at one here. Camera's a little bit above me. It's not that great of an angle, I realize. But my point for this video is to give you an idea that when I come in the morning, the first thing that I do is I look at where I am in the empire. Okay, you have to remember where you are in time and space. And one of the things I do, let me just go to this. This is one graphic. Very loosely held. It's only an idea. You can see that you everywhere. Okay, these are money sites. And so it's very important that when I come in, I have an overview of my empire. And of course, if I'm working on a client's empire, I will remove this stuff and I will put up my client's empire. And the things that I pay a lot of attention to are sort of different than, say, an SEO. I've got people on my team, and some of the people that I have on my team are SEO masters. So I don't have to be the world's best SEO, but I need to have access to them. Also, what's important to me is traffic, and conversion is even more important to me. So I have to have the relationships between, where the traffic is coming from and what's being sold and how those conversions are happening. And then, of course, when it comes to the WR2 site, in other words, I want to have I have more than one money site, so I want all those money site. The data that I want to be available to me is traffic first. Notice the order: traffic, rankings, penalties if there are any, and above all of that, what's more important than all of that is sales and conversions. If the sales and conversions have gone down on any of these sites, it's the first thing that I address when I come in. So I look and see if there's a problem technically with the site. And part of the reason I do that is, one of the ways I do that is through web analytics. Okay? I look directly at, you can probably see this on my back screen here. I look at the web analytics right away if there's a problem. I'm constantly making sure that the sitemaps and the pages are being indexed. And I go ahead and make sure that there's, a lot of the times I'll watch the traffic in real time if we're in the middle of a campaign. And if I'm not in the middle of a campaign, I'll probably move it to something called acquisition, which is overview. Acquisition overview gives me an idea of whether or not I've got direct, organic, or referral dominant traffic. I use Google Analytics on my money sites, and that'll give you a little bit of an idea about what I do. But I'm also watching, similarly, if we're watching the WR1, I need to have that overview here. Okay, and I have traffic. I'm watching traffic. I'm watching Google Web Analytics. I'm watching money coming in real time. I'm not going to get into that up here, but if I were to click on these buttons right here, since it's private, I can't share that with you, you would see how many thousands of dollars that I made today. And that would be distributed throughout all the companies that Sue, Jimmy, Matt, and the rest of our team work so diligently to maintain. These include the courses, the training, the plugins, the software. And then, of course, we have a business department. We have to operate our expenses. We have accountants who do amazing work for us. So first and foremost is a recognition that there is a team of a few people to make this type of activity possible. And that's helpful to understand, especially if you're a beginner. And even if you're an intermediate person who's making greater than $10,000 a month, it's probably helpful to remember sometimes that the team, to not try to do everything yourself. There's several departments: marketing, operations, finance, and legal. Marketing is not really a department, it's the overall objective, but you have to break these down into areas of expertise for your team. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little idea. And so the first thing I do when I come in the morning is I check our numbers to make sure that the money is coming into the bank account and that it's still working. And then if not, I'll go to the various, I keep my WR1s, that's the WR1 money sites, on the top layer here. Okay, so I can just jump from one. And I also like to look at my countdown timers. Countdown timers seem to help on some types of models. Okay, we have perpetual mastermind groups that you're never used up. Once you are a member, you're always a member. But we do continually loop the time that the courses come out, all leading to Theme Zoom certification, okay, which is here. So what that does is that helps me keep into perspective the expectations that I'm managing and the vision that we're communicating to all of our users. Then, of course, I also track the different software, the traffic to the different software sites that we are promoting, okay? And of course, we write all our own software, the last keyword tool, Kraken, all these different types of things. Now, again, where SEO comes in is obviously for keywords. I will drill into Google Analytics and Webmaster Tools to see which keywords are popular. And sometimes we're ranking for things that we don't even suspect that's bringing in a lot of traffic and quite a bit of time on site. If I find that the traffic on the money site is an unexpected keyword or an unexpected behavior is happening, I will analyze that behavior, okay, through the various methodologies that we have here. For example, 3,387 organic search terms. If I find something interesting in there, I will carry it out to the WR2 area. Okay, in other words, I'll take it out to the automatic pin bid sites out here, the more automated sites, and sometimes even out here, you can learn about the web ring systems that are out here in our automatic RSS content broadcasting course, which we just successfully launched the first perpetual mastermind course that we've had about how to build out your WR3, WR4, and the RSS automation. So one little tip that I really wanted to, I'm going to try to give you a tip every week within this format, if it works out, if we get a response. If I find keywords that are doing well on my money sites, I will bring them down to the WR2 areas, WR2 sites, and I will import them into an automatic pin bid site or the automatic RSS site or any of the other automated SEO systems that we have in place that are highly optimized. Some of them have quite a bit of power, depending upon what Jimmy and Sue have done with those. That all comes into play with SEO. And then I'll drill into those specific terms and I'll drive them back to the money sites using banners and links and making sure to not over-optimize. So this is what we're really watching. And then, of course, at the end of the day, it's all about the leads that are being captured and converted. And believe it or not, one of the most powerful ways for me to come up with excellent content and broadcasting content is through the help desk. So I've got an entire system just based on the help desk where I can come up with content. In fact, this video right here that we're creating is a result of a question. Somebody asked me, Russell, what does your day look like? Okay. Well, my day looks like whatever I want it to look like, really, but it depends on what I'm going on. But we have all kinds of process maps. This is one of the process maps that I use for, you can't see it obviously, for the help desk. And we're continually honing that. Kevin and Gina have amazing accountability in the help desk. And when people purchase traffic, or there's an error with their software, whether it's their WordPress installation, the type of hosting they're on, or it's a very complex question, we have a way of sorting out. So once we get all the traffic, whether it's out in the outer ring and it drives into one or more of our money pages, on the back end, you've got to have a solid team. And more importantly, you've got to have if you're going to be a software company, you have to have a pretty good support desk. Well, the support desk is also an amazing part of content creation. So a lot of the questions will come back out to Network Empire News, and we'll communicate that to the world, and we'll use them to generate more content. And then I'll check to see if those keywords have been indexed or if I'm getting traffic off of it every couple months. Then we take those same keywords, automate them to drive traffic and ideas, and round and round she goes. And this is done very carefully with a highly skilled technical infrastructure, SEO infrastructure, and we have to adapt to the changes of the algorithms for the SEO. But the things that don't change are traffic behaviors and the goal of your business. SEO is actually really one part of building a multi-million-dollar industry. And it's a part that some people like to play with. They like the game of SEO, and others don't. One thing I would remind you and suggest that you remember is that you shouldn't get caught only in SEO. It's got to be an integrated circuit. You must have traffic. Okay, you must focus on rankings, but you should not lose yourself on rankings, because if those rankings are not converting, you need to adjust with that. You need to adjust that. Okay. If you want to learn more about this type of thing, we have a really fantastic video called don'tforgetthebasics.com. You can visit don'tforgetthebasics.com and maybe learn about the thing that looks so complex, this process map stuff. Although there are variables, there are quite a few stacked variables that without a team I wouldn't be able to implement. On the other hand, there really only are three variables: traffic, domain authority, and content. And domain authority, I also include trust, so PADA, and trust flow. But all of those should work together: traffic, content delivery, PADA. And when you put all those things together, you have something truly amazing. It's really your team, your joint venture partners, your products, and your fanatical support team that help you break the $1 million barrier and help you move into the $1 billion barrier, move into the $1 billion realm, where you can actually start contemplating what $1 billion might look like, and more importantly, what it actually means to you. It seems difficult. Your first million seems difficult until it's not. Your first 100,000 seems difficult until it's not. Your first 5,000 seems difficult. The first $10,000 that I ever made in a month was, on my own, meaning without any job or boss or anything like this. I remember it's not only life-changing, it completely pivots the way that you think about your life, economics, power, infrastructure, management. So anybody watching this, we do have some users and students who are just beginning their online career. We are moving towards live certification. Not everybody's going to come to a live certification event of this type right out of the gate. It has been called the Harvard University of Online Business because we talk not only about SEO, we have all the SEO knowledge that you could probably ever find, and I don't say that lightly. Jimmy Kelley on our team, Sue Bell on our team. I thought I knew a lot about the 50 shades of black hat SEO until I met Jimmy Kelley, and then now we have 500 shades of black hat. I have seen things and witnessed things and participated in SEO things that, when I say things, I mean tests, that undermine, without exception, every single thing being taught in the SEO industry. Like, for the most part. I mean, there are obviously the variables of white hat and these things. The general content aspects are still the same. But generally speaking, everything can be hacked. But what good is that if you don't have a business and you don't have a purpose and you don't know the rules and you spend all your time doing that, but you're not making any money? Believe it or not, one of the best black hats that I know, this is not Jimmy Kelley, still does not make that much money online. I mean, he makes more than somebody working at a job, but he doesn't really understand business. So he only can make money where the transaction is directly related to his hacks, and he has not built a brand. Not building a brand is a huge mistake. It's, I would say, the one mistake that I made in my pursuit of push button millions. Push button millions is not impossible. I mean, more or less, we have some aspects of that going on. The problem with push button millions is that if anything in your network stops working properly and you're all on your own and you don't have a team helping you fix that stuff, you lose your income stream. How many people do you know that have lost their income stream because it was solely dependent upon a particular technical situation or a particular trend, whether it's PBNs or whether it's social media ad campaigns, whether it's pay-per-click costs that have suddenly risen? I've seen so many push button millions, what you call automatic streams of income, that have lasted 3 or 4 months and then gone away overnight for people in my last 12 years of business online. That I was looking for the variable of what is the thing that you don't lose. This is why I'm so focused on engagement rank and broadcasting. The thing that you don't lose is your brand. And hopefully, if you've established them, your values, the things that you communicate to the world. There are a lot of aspects of business that keep it in place. And you have to know what those things are, how to hold a sustainable model as a complex system that you're going to collapse under asymmetry if you don't have balance. And at the end of the day, it's all about your team. And if I were to give you one big secret and one takeaway from this, it would be it's about your team, and it's not about hacking the internet. Hacks are useful, but they should not become the core of your business. Otherwise, it's probably not a business. It's probably a shortcut or an attempt to pursue push button millions when you should probably be balancing some of that knowledge with brand building and communicating your products and services to others and positioning your products as the only viable option on the market and focusing on presenting your products and services as a painkiller. And if not a painkiller, then an innovation that so far exceeds anything that currently exists that it's the only viable option. So these are the things. Now, if you don't have that, then you want to provide personal brand equity, meaning trust. People will buy from you before they buy from anyone else if they trust you, if they have reason to trust you, if you're sharing of yourself, if you're communicating your goals and your vision, and you start with why. Ultimately, marketing online is no longer about, it's not just a department, it's everybody in your organization and on your team communicating their vision and sharing being involved in a shared purpose that communicates the values and who believe what you believe, and therefore the what you sell or the object or the widget becomes a byproduct of something much greater, which people are happy to support you with and happy to do business with you over and over again. So this is what we focus on. And the core axiom of why, your what should align with your why. And your entire team should be aware of the why of your organization and the vision that you communicate, whatever that is, needs to be communicated with everybody. And work with people who believe what you believe and understand where the business is going. So I hope this has been helpful. I realize we're just scratching the surface. These are some of the things that we're going to talk about at ThemeZoom Certification Live. Okay, and these are the things that I want you guys to be aware of. Because there is a large process here. Let me go over this with you a little bit. If you go to Future-Proof Empire, this is a really huge sneak peek of one of the things that we go over on Friday. And what this is all about is understanding the difference between the rider and the elephant. The elephant is this vision, this purpose that your business has. It's the persuasion, it's the relationships that you build. It's the why, it's the reason that people buy that have nothing to do with the what. The what is all about the math, the algorithm, what it is that you're selling, and how is your server up? Are you getting traffic? If I've created 1 million pages today on this one and this one and this one, is that 1 million pages, which probably by the way I have, are those millions of pages just costing me money? Or are they actually converting upstream to my sites? That's the left brain stuff, what we call SEO, IT, analytics, algorithms. That's all right here in this quadrant, if you can see on the. Okay, this is some of the things that we talk about at certification. So you have to be able to balance the marketing, the vision, and the emotion with the technology, the accurate SEO, the technological IT, the domain authority stacking, the traffic hospital, all the very, very technical. You live in a very, very technical environment. Persuasion and selling it is an entirely different environment. It's an entirely different world. You have to be able to balance both of these and find the sweet spot right here, which is the best possible SEO rankings and the highest possible conversion right in here. As you can see, of course, we sell tools and we have tools for all of these things. Okay, but these tools are only going to be as good as the product. Okay, they're only going to be as helpful, rather. Tools are awesome, but the products. Okay, so at certification, I want to teach you about your vision, your strategy, or your lean canvas, and your product optimization. If you don't have that, I can get you ranked. Jimmy can get you ranked for every keyword research tool. I mean, every keyword on the market that you'd ever want to, through our keyword research tool called the Last Keyword Tool in Kraken. But if you don't know what you're selling and you haven't matched the words to your sales page, it's not going to make that much sense. So you've really got to understand your vision, have a strategy before you immerse yourself in ranking addiction. Ranking is very, very important. But if you want to make multi-million dollars online, your business model has to be properly organized and in place. Once you start to get that, you'll actually wonder what's happened to you. You'll be in this place where you'll wonder where all the money that's rushing at you at the speed of light came from and where was it all during the dry years. Because you just got the sequence down. And we're talking about recurring income here. We're very big on teaching recurring income. I know that some of you are just happy to see your first few grand, your first month. That's not us. We're not here to teach you how to make a couple grand each month. We'll leave that to those who are much, much better at teaching that. It's got to start with that. But ultimately, we wouldn't want you to be satisfied with that. We would want you to understand the whole picture, the big picture that we teach at certification, so that you can then decide, then zoom back in to determine whether or not you really wanted that in the first place. Okay, because there's a lot of ways to make just a couple grand in the first month. Okay, or the first 2 months. We talk about some of those. But then the more knowledge you have, the more you might decide that's not the way to go. I mean, affiliate marketing might be a way to learn. There's nothing wrong with that. generally speaking, coming up with your own product is going to be a better way to go long term. And understanding the difference between those two and the true math, the real economic differential between selling other people's products and building your own, and determining where you are in your online growth and your own business decision, your knowledge of that business decision, having a wide view or zooming out from all the possibilities of online wealth generation. Within this new netocracy, it's going to be really important for you to have a global view before you decide. Because what happens online is kind of weird. Where you start, it's like a house of mirrors. Where you start can get you sucked in. And if you're sucked into a particular type of behavior and a type of business creation and type of value system, it's almost impossible to get back out. It's almost impossible to build a brand. Back out of either a brand that has not been really effectively executed or is unclear, or even its values are not 100% clear. It's very difficult to back out of that and then start again. Some people don't like the idea of branding, and it's the most valuable and sustainable thing that you have. For instance, you can see on my model here on the screen that the marketing and relationship tasks for the elephant, the business and numbers and geek tasks for the writers, there are ways to make huge amounts of money with just numbers, business numbers and geek tasks. In fact, you can do day trading. You can short the market and really not have to interact at all with the emotions of the market and not sell anything. I will say that with the thousands of students that I've worked with throughout the years, there's only been, I don't know, a handful, 10 or 15, who have been successful at being a raw numbers profiteer. A raw numbers profiteer is like a John Nash type character that stares at the board or stares at Wall Street right here and starts making really good money. I live here in Scottsdale, Arizona, where there's a lot of traders, and those traders are a really specific breed. It's kind of interesting though, I've talked to a lot of them, and they still make a significant amount of money that they then put into the stock market from the level 1 and level 2 leads that come in to try to learn trading. So the money they earn in marketing goes into their own trading funds. It was very funny to talk to some of these guys that they're still marketing, and they're just as much as interested in what I do and teach as I am in what they do in terms of just pure numbers profiteering, like Warren Buffett style investing. At the end of the day, everybody, including the Warren Buffetts of the world, the stock markets, the brokers, they're still having to communicate trust and value, which is why it's the one thing, what we call reputation, leverage, reputation value, that you really can't start over with. So it's a good thing to get going online with that from the beginning. Even if you're an affiliate marketer, your products should be chosen and organized around even joint venture partners that share your same value and communicate that value. This is the one thing that, again, answering the question that really inspired this video, the one thing that if I were to go back and be able to teach beginners and intermediate marketers, fledgling marketers and or internet marketers and or SEOs even, would be to start building your brand now. Start collecting the series of values now. There are a few books that will really help you organize that. One of them is called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I do a short workshop at the live certification event where you leave with your why totally intact. Simon's probably one of the better speakers in the world, just in my opinion, at understanding what's going on with that. Very helpful way for you to begin now, though, to really look at what it is that you're doing. Okay. Another thing that we go over quite a bit at the event is within your own products, be sure that you do a lean canvas. We do a lean canvas for all of our products before we start. Okay, lean canvassing is a powerful, powerful way to stop building stuff that nobody wants or selling affiliate products that nobody wants. Okay, Ash and Weiss, several of the folks who have started the lean and agile movement, will teach you at the live certification event how to almost never miss when you create your own product. We also teach this at our swallowyourmarketwhole.com online perpetual mastermind group, part 1 and part 2. Show you how to stop researching or even selling or being an affiliate for products that don't work and that nobody wants. That's the key point. So with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this 30-minute rant by me in my lab here in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's an experiment. If I get no feedback on it, then I won't continue to talk about these things and open the kimono a little bit and show you what's going on. This is just stuff every day. I have a very specific step-by-step procedure of what my day looks like with my team, with my outsourcers. If you find that it's valuable, you like it, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and like the YouTube video. That's a pretty small request. Maybe like it on a Facebook or share it, or some kind of social reputation would be helpful. That's the only indicator I will have as to whether I do more videos like this. So, because it could be completely useless to you. I would be surprised if it was useless to you, but you need to let me know. There's things that we'll be talking about. I'll be giving you sneak peeks into some of our courses, such as automatic video traffic, automatic broadcasting, RSS broadcasting, some of the basic SEOs. You're going to be getting some sneak peeks into software that we have coming that's maybe not even here yet, and you're going to love this. I actually like this type of presentation because it allows me to be myself, and I don't really have to sell you anything. We don't really have to sell too much these days, but we do have to teach and communicate what's going on our end of this. I do believe that we are sold out of certification. We might have one seat remaining for April. If you are interested in that, give me a call. We do not have the payment plan available for that, so it is an upfront fee, but that might be viable for you as well. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you on the inside of networkempire.com. Thank you.